Hi everyone, I'm going to start an art journal page today in this quite large art journal I have, and I mostly want to do this page to show you a technique I've picked up. Holly, thank you for showing me this technique. I hope you're watching this video. And I've got this scrapbook paper, cardstock, whatever, and I bought it a long time ago. I really liked several of the designs here. The problem is I didn't check, and all the pages are glossy, and I hate glossy. So it was just sitting around. I didn't have anything to do with it, and then I've managed to pick up this technique. So I'm taking these two pages that are quite, I don't know, ugly, and I'm going to use them as my background. Now, as I said, they are glossy, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. First of all, I'm going to adhere them to my page, and I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to make sure I have lots and lots of glue. I need everything to be attached really well to my page, because I'm going to work on distressing these two pages, and I think this is quite enough. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm just going to put it down, and I'm going to trim the excess later. Well, I'm putting this down, and I want to rip it. I don't want a straight line. Don't quite care. Yeah, something like that. And now I need this one, and let's hope I'm not making a very big mistake by not trying to measure or something. I'm just going to rip it. I just want some diagonal line, and I'm going to adhere it here once I'm finished ripping it. I really didn't want to measure. I want it quite random. Here we go. So I'm going to trim the excess. I'm flipping the page because it's just easier to cut it like this. I'm not sure I'm in frame, but I'm just trimming the excess, so not much to see. And I need to trim. It's quite difficult to work with these large pages, but sometimes it just called for. I want to do some big project, so we'll work with what we have. Yay. Okay, that is handled, and here is the beginning, and I'm going to put glue here to make sure it's in place and it won't move while I'm distressing it. Okay, in place. I can also remove a little bit where I don't need it. all this white is going to get covered. So beginning of my page, and now I'm going to take some sanding paper and I'm going to distress this page. So some sanding paper, and well, I'm just going to fold it a little bit, and now I'm going to work on all this glossy mess. And this is just the beginning, and I hope this sound is not screeching in your ears. And I can also go and decide on several places to do a little more distressing like this. And you can also take some plastic card and put it like this, and work with this like that. So I'm going to continue scratching this page, and I'll be back. I'm back. So finished distressing my page. Now I'm taking a baby wipe and just wiping all the dust I have from distressing it. And now you need to figure what color do you want for all these places. You can leave it as is, or you can paint it, and I'm going to paint it. I'm taking a brown acrylic paint, and I've tried it with this kind of acrylic paint. It didn't work so well, it's too runny, and I'm using this one, which is more like paste, and I'm going over like this, leaving it for a few seconds, and then taking the baby wipe and pushing it and it would probably work even better with ink, but I don't have a shade that acrylic ink or alcohol ink that will work for me in terms of the shade that I want here, so I'm using acrylic paint. So this is just working it inside and deciding when something is enough for you. This is up to you, how you want it to look. Darker, lighter, more distressed, less distressed, really up to you. And now I've got quite a bit on my baby wipe, so I'm continuing just smearing it. And of course you can change colors, you can add more. It doesn't have to be the same color all around. Here I've wiped too much, so I'm just going in and adding. And I can decide not to wipe it, or just a little bit. Just play with it until you are satisfied with the result you're getting. I'm thinking I'm going to do this at the edges. I always like my edges to be darker, so I think it just works with the whole tattered and distressed theme of this page. Yeah, and I want to wipe a little bit here and add a little bit here. So as you can see, I'm still playing with what I've got. Yeah, so this is my background, the beginning of my background, and I need for this to dry before I continue, and I'll be back. I'm back, and I want to add some interesting texture to my page, and also that will work with the whole thing. I have this brick stencil that I'm thinking of just putting down in several places like so, and I'm using joint compound, not modeling paste. I think it works the same way. I'm using it for a long time, and it's just cheaper to buy it in the hardware store, a big bucket of it in the hardware store instead of modeling paste. But up to you. It's either I'm using joint compound, but you can also use wood filler, and just for me, I think it's the same. So here, this is the bricks, and I want to add, I'm thinking of adding this because it just reminds me of what I have in the back on this paper, and I'm going to try and add it here without damaging my bricks. Not quite concerned about accuracy. Here we go, and wiping excess here. If you don't like where something went, just wipe it off before it dries. And just another one, I think, here. And I need to be very careful. Here we go. So this again needs to dry, and I need to clean my stencils. Never leave them with modeling paste, joint compound, or whatever you're using. Wipe it off as quickly as you can. So I'll be back. I'm back. So this is still not dry, but we'll put it aside, and I want to show you what I'm making. I've already picked some elements that I want to go on my page, like this wooden frame that I've already painted to look like a rusted frame, and I will show you how I've made it. I will also put a link below to a tutorial I already done about how to do rust and patina effect, and basically you can do it on anything. Like I have this cardstock that is ugly, so I flipped it and made me this page, so I can cut elements out of like these shapes, so I will have cogs and gears to play with. So this is another option, and I will show you in a minute. And I have here, like, I've already done this. These are just cardboard numbers that I've done the same thing I've done here, and I've got this element and this clock dials These are from an old clock that stopped working, so I took them out, and I'm going to do the same thing effect on them. And it's just acrylic paint, nothing fancy here. And basically you need to pick the colors that you like, and I usually do severals. I've got something that's more like a brown sepia. I've got burnt umber, burnt sienna. Sometimes I also incorporate this kind of ochre, but first I'm starting with some turquoise and this mint shade of I don't know what to call it. But again, you don't need to have this the exact shade, exact paint. You need to just experiment and decide what works for you. So I'm just taking a piece here, and if you've got something like metal or plastic, then it's better to cover it first with gesso, and that's what I'm going to do. And I've got here black gesso from the cheap store that I really don't like because it's not completely black, not what I was aiming for. But because it's going to get covered, I really don't care. So I'm just putting on a nice coat of gesso. I don't know if you can see it, but it's more like dark gray than black. That's why I don't like it. But for this, it's going to be perfect. Really doesn't matter. It's just a primer, so you can do whatever you want on top of it. Okay, so that's the first start, and as I said, I'm starting with shades of turquoise. Pick whatever you like, whatever you think will work for you, and basically it's just plain, because if you want it to look more with patina effect, then you will use more of the turquoise colors, and if you want more of the rust effect, then you will use more of the browns to make it. So I'm using for this technique any kind of hard bristle brush, and the older and stiffer it is, it's better. And I don't even care that the gesso is not completely dry, and I'm just going to tap. And another color, the mint color, so leaving it be here, and again the same thing. In this case I just wanted to pick through the browns like here, and I hope you see it. Now I like also to incorporate some metal color, and again this is up to you. You can use gold, you can use bronze, copper, whatever you like to see. It really doesn't matter the shade or the company, the brand of what you're using. And here I'm making a mess as usual. I probably should have waited for the gesso to dry, but I just want to show you how I'm making this stuff. So now this needs again to dry. Let's give it a quick blast so we can move on to the browns. So again some hard bristle brush, and it's just playing with with the shades. There is no recipe, there is no right or wrong. Some will like it like this, with the dark sepia brown and the patina colors, and leave it be. I like to add to the mix, like I'm using now. This is burnt sienna. And again, just spreading it randomly. Like so, and just more of this darker brown here. Now if you want it to look even more like rust and you want more texture like rust, take something like a glitter powder, or there are a like colored sand for kids craft, and you add it to the acrylic paint, and then you get a nice texture like rust. And now I'm taking a little bit of this ochre color, and again, I'm not even changing my brush, I'm just using the same thing, and I'm also letting some of the color mix. Let's take it. I really hope you can see what I've done here, and now I'm only going to add some metallic paint. That's how I like it. And let's see, let's take this one. This one is pearl metallic bronze, something again from the local store, cheap local store. As you can see, I'm putting on it on here, so I won't have too much on the paintbrush. I just need to tap it so I won't have excess, and basically this is it. Here we go. So all this needs to dry, and then we are going to start playing by placing all the elements on my page. Oh, of course I need to paint first all the things I've done with my texture, and then we'll continue. I'll be back. I'm back. So I hope this is dry enough, and now I just want to add paint to it, and I'm going to use watercolors. These are a Pelican, and I've got it like 3 decades, this set, so I'm always using it. And again, I'm going to use the same colors, which are burnt sienna, burnt umber, and all kinds of browns, and maybe I'll also incorporate some black or gray, I don't know. Just trying to put down color fast. I don't have enough time on my phone camera. It only gives me like 31 seconds, so it's quite difficult to make videos that will fit in that time frame. So sometimes I need to be really quick. So I'm going to continue this, and I'll be back because it's taking time, as I said. I'm back. So got all my elements, and I am partly sure where everything goes. I just need to stick everything, and sorry, This piece is from the same cardstock I've used, and I want this center, but this I want a little bit to the side. Don't know why, just so let's put it here. And I've got this element that I'm going to stick again. And let's see, yeah, something like that. So it's going to be here, and this is going to be here, and basically I'm going to move this a little bit, and it's good that my glue is not dry yet, so I can still move things. And I'm going to fix this frame to the page. I need to put a little bit pressure because this is sticking out of the page a little bit, and I want to add now the dials, and yeah, something like that, and still need to put some pressure on. I'm thinking because this is sticking out, I need to raise the dials, so I'm going to use this double-sided foam sticky thing. I don't know how to call it. Going on in the back here, peeling the other side, and you can hear my kids in the back, still on vacation. Yeah, here it is. This is like this. Now I want to put the numbers, so again, and don't know why, but I think I'm going to put them a little bit crooked. Like this. And I've got the 6 here and the 9. They are arguing about some computer game. Very fascinating. Not. So, and now I just want this butterfly, and I want to stick it here. So I'm going to use again this double-sided foam sticky thing. It doesn't want to peel. Oh gosh. I'm putting a little bit more glue here on the back. And I'm going to put pressure on all of this because it's still not in place, and then I'm going to come back when I'm sure everything is adhered and in place, and we'll continue. I'm back. My page is almost finished, and as I said, I don't have enough time, so I only put here some letters time, and I'm going with the Stabilo all, and underneath my elements I already done the numbers. I'm going to add and activate it with water, so I will have a little bit of shading and things will pop up. So as you can see, I'm not doing any accurate thing, just putting down a little bit of it, and I'm going to take a brush with water and activate it just so I will have a little bit of shadow. And I've done it with the numbers, and this is it. That's my page, and I hope you liked it, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.